we want to take a second to share with you guys a new adventure that we are about to embark on with you guys.
We're now on Patreon. We're going to be sharing monthly exclusive videos. We're going to be sharing extended versions of our YouTube videos that you see here, but less editing, more realness, more beef. Beef. Live stream Q&As. What else are we doing?
We're also going to each host an individual live chat with you guys. Blue about music, me about film and television. And the one that I think we're most excited for is every month we're going to do a happy hour hangout.
Which is exactly what it sounds like. You're going to grab your drink of choice, we're going to grab ours, and we're going to hang out on Discord and talk about our weeks.
Yeah.
Gossip.
There are also a lot of other features that you can find out more about if you go to the link to our Patreon page, which is in our description.
And to kick off our first month on Patreon, we are going to be reminiscing about our big day, our wedding day, and sharing photos that have never been shared before. I don't even think I would put them on like my personal accounts to share.
I'm not even sure we really share them much with our families. I think we just kind of have them and they've been on our computers.
Like Matt said, click that link in the description and we'll see you on Patreon.
Yeah.
Peace to the world!
Are we gonna say to push the notifications?
Yeah, you should push the notification. Well, first you have to subscribe, and then you gotta give us the note. Wait, you don't push the notifications.
But I like that language. It's make sure your push notifications are on, but push the notifications, yeah?
All right, so make sure your notifications are.
Are you gonna start this one?
No, I think you are. This is your story.
I know, but that means I'm gonna be doing so much more talking, and I feel like you should greet.
You know,
Les people.
You know,
Les peeps.
You know, I'm not gonna get through a whole video without talking.
We all know that, but.
So my point is, there's no worry about who's talking more. But it's definitely your story, so you can start the video.
I don't know where to start though. How do you start? I have a really funny story. I think there's been very few times in my life that I can actually remember feeling fear. And honestly, if I think about that right now, I can't really think of a time that I felt that kind of, oh shit, I'm in trouble. Nobody's gonna help me right now. That's kind of how I felt. If I were in the woods and I was being chased by a bear, I'd have that same feeling. Nobody can help me. What am I gonna do?
I mean, you felt that fear that deeply?
Was I skipping away from the scene? All right, so let me tell you what happened. It was a beautiful day outside. The kids happened to be inside, thankfully. Matt and I were doing some yard work. I was on the tractor mower, mowing some weeds. Matt was with the weed eater. And we had done this several times since we bought this house, but when we did buy this house, the yard was really overgrown. It was, I don't know, waist high in weeds.
Like so high.
Trees, branches, tires, cars, like all kinds of that you can imagine is out there.
Like, as a matter of fact, this is our second riding lawnmower because the first lawnmower, we kept braking because we were running over...
Not we.
No,
Not we.
No, you just as many times ran over things. It doesn't matter. You couldn't see. You couldn't see what you were mowing because the weeds were so high. You would keep and there was so much trash in the yard. So you would hit a snag of carpet or a metal rod that was just randomly in the middle of a yard, or T-posts, or even just rocks or tree stumps, but you couldn't see any of this stuff because the weeds were so high. And this was a used lawnmower, so that lawnmower did not stand a chance.
She was a Cub Cadet.
Anyway, so we went through that one. We kept having it fixed and then getting it back and getting it fixed and then bringing it back. So then we went out, we bought a new one. That's like a beast.
So I jump on the mower and I'd taken a couple swipes up and down the fence. Things are flying around me and it's very dusty. It's like this thing is so powerful that it's just like a tornado of dust and weeds everywhere.
Things are flying. You think it's just like debris.
That hurts. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. And I realized what was around me was a swarm of bees. Immediately my adrenaline kicks in. I'm trying to figure out a relatively new tractor. It should be a gas and a brake, right? It's not. There's actually no gas. You take your foot off the brake and you go.
You were gonna try and drive away?
That thing hauls ass. I ended up jumping off. I just bailed off of it. Arms everywhere screaming. At that point, I feel them out there in my scalp. I have him here. I can feel them in my shirt. And I know he's back in that back of the yard and all I see are the swarm of bees. And so then I call you and I don't know, how did you even hear my phone call?
I didn't hear it, but at that point I stopped. The weed eater was still running, but I was pulling weed because they were so tall. Only because I stopped this motion of
Oh, I thought it was because that you were swatted,
I did. I was feeling things too, but with the weed eater, especially we had some tall weeds back there, and like thick weeds, so things were like flying at you. So I just thought it was, but I kept feeling things in my hair, and I thought it was pieces of weeds. But I did have a moment of like, is there a bug in my hair that won't leave me alone? Anyway, so I also was like very covered and sweaty, and so I just kind of felt my phone vibrating, and I was somewhat aware because I knew the kids were in the house, and I try to be aware of my phone in case the kids are trying to get a hold of us and something's happening in the house. So I pulled out my phone, and then I saw you calling, and I was like, why is Blue calling me? Whatever. And you were like, where are you? I was like, I'm behind the shed. Like, what is your problem? And then so immediately my mind is like, oh my God, like the house is on fire, or a kid chopped a finger off or something. And then you tell me there's a swarm of bees. And that's when I realized, oh my God, it's like, that's what was in my hair.
Well, and how funny too, because you weren't that far away from me, and they were all over me. Like they knew I was the one that was pissing them off.
I came in, and you were like, get in. And I was like, well, I'm covered in stuff, and I'm like, trying to take off my muck boots.
Bleeding from my neck.
So I came in, and then, there were bees all over the floor. Like, there were bees on the floor, like, crawling on the door, like, but Daisy bees, like, walking on the window.
Their butts were hanging out, because all their stingers were in my neck and my scalp.
Then you tell me, and then you turn around, and I see just, like, stingers in the back of your neck and down here on your back. Because you had a cutoff shirt on, right? So they were like on your chaps.
Turns out that on the other side of our fence, there's an old owl box. There's a massive beehive in it. I was scared because I wasn't prepared for it. Even if you're not really allergic, if you get stung enough, you could die. And granted, like looking back and now, okay, yes, I was fine.
But there's still something triggered in your mind.
Absolutely, there's something triggered. I mean, more people die from bee stings than they do bears, you know?
Do they? No, I don't know. Yeah. Who knows that?
Well, I think everybody kind of knows that.
Do they?
Yeah, I think
did
that
you just read that?
No. I think that people generally know that people are more allergic to bees than there are bears chasing people around them.
Well, I guess due to allergies. Okay, fair.
Our son Crow, that everybody knows, he was recently stung by 2 bees. They were both at school. The first one was okay. The second one he had a really bad reaction to. And I kept thinking, what if that were Crow or even Rosa? Like, has Rosa even been stung by a bee? We don't even know.
We don't know. We have our family to protect, so of course they have to be relocated.
Yeah.
I think they just did. So so we have a beekeeper. He's coming. He's relocating them.
First time I've ever had that experience.
But you know what's interesting is that happened on Saturday. That happened on Saturday, and it was Thursday that Crow was stung by a bee. So Thursday evening and all day Friday, I had to take Crow to the urgent care on Friday because of his bee sting. And so we had like all this bee sting drama with crows because of his reaction to it on Thursday night and Friday. And then Saturday you were attacked by bees.
Yeah. And maybe that's part of why my brain worked the way it did, because of all the things with Crow being, the condition Crow was in. Well, it's not something I ever want to go through again.
Well, they say things happen in 3, so hopefully not this one. My mind wasn't processing the severity of it at the time. I thought when you were like, they got me, I was like...
Listen, he is the wrong person to be with if you have a heart attack.
No, but a heart attack is clearly...
Or even diarrhea. Oh, it's not, you're not gonna... It's just... We'll keep shopping. I'll take you home later.
Oh my goodness. Although...
You have diarrhea?
Not now, but I have a story about shopping and diarrhea.
Really?
Oof.
Let's hear it.
Another time.
No, let's hear your diarrhea story.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not going to talk about this now.
I think somebody hit their pants.
Peace to the world. We hope you enjoyed this story.
Because you like to go fast.